Good morning.
Good morning.
Making huge progress on our hyperadobe roundhouse, but you know what? It's springtime, which means spring projects.
This is the time of year when you should be cleaning your mini split air conditioner. We have 3 of them. They're all disgusting. And I had to go figure out how to clean them. Guess what? There's not a lot of HVAC companies out in the middle of nowhere.
No.
So we had to figure out how to do it ourselves. And so we recorded it and it ended up kind of being its own thing. So this video is going to be about how I found a cool product that lets me clean our mini splits here without having to hire an HVAC company.
Hey, self-sufficient for the win.
So enjoy this mini split cleaning video.
Tutorial.
We're taking a small break from the house to do a little maintenance. Now, you know that we love our mini split air conditioners. However, mini splits need a lot of maintenance. It's the only thing I don't like about them. And I think part of it is because we are living in the desert in very small buildings with doors that are right next to them. So they get a lot of dust and material that go, because they basically pull through the top and then blow out, right? So there's this constant circulation. They have filters on them. You can clean those filters, but sometimes if you don't stay on top of it, things get real gross. So today I'm going to be cleaning the mini split here in the solar shed, and I'll walk you through the process. First, we need to turn it off and cut the power to it before we do anything. Now, the first step is, to clean the filters. These should be done pretty often, probably more often than I do it. But as you can see, these are actually not bad, and my coils aren't dirty either. Usually when I get here, the coils are just caked in like dirt and stuff, and so the first step is usually to take the shroud off, spray in some foam cleaner which dissolves and releases it from those fins, and then spray it down and get all the dirt off those fins. But what we do need is to clean the blower wheel, and the blower wheel gets caked with stuff over longer periods of time. Ours is due for a cleaning, so that's what we're doing today. So it looks like, to start with, to take this off, I need to disconnect this communication cable. So that's in here. There we go. So then these just have little plastic things that hold them in place. Then before we take this off, we need to take off this guy here. Usually there's 2 tabs on the end, and you got to disconnect the middle part, and then you can kind of bend it and it'll come off of those little pegs. So as you can see, definitely that blower wheel is flinging off the debris and the dirt, which is not what we want. This part is different for all of our mini splits. They all have different layers of screws and tabs and various things that hold them in place, and you just kind of have to go slow, and you just have to keep looking at it. If I remember, there's a hidden screw right here, which none of our other ones have this. Then there are tabs across the top. There are usually some sort of tabs here that are also keeping it. And so you start trying to pull and it doesn't move, and you're always like, oh, am I gonna break it? There. Okay, now this should just slide off. I have replaced the blower wheel in this. The motor went bad, and so I had to literally, there's like 20 screws. You have to take this whole thing apart, take this whole coil thing and lift it up, disconnect all these electronics, get to where that blower wheel attaches. You can take the whole thing out and clean it. We're definitely not going to do that. That is way too much work and way too complicated. So thankfully I found a product, which is not sponsored, but it is a whole system that will allow me to sort of clean this and do it in a way where I don't make a huge mess. So let's get that installed. Okay, so I found this mini split cleaning kit from HVAC guys, and it's this very specifically shaped shroud, and you'll see how it works once you get it up there. But it has a little tail, and it comes with a collapsible bucket, and it comes with a hose attachment and a nozzle sprayer. But it's going to let me sort of do like a I don't know if you call it high pressure, but enough pressure spray so you don't damage your coils, you don't damage the blower wheel, but it will let you spray off all the gunk. It all comes in the shroud and it goes down into the bucket. The only thing it doesn't come with is a way to protect the electrical. Even though we have the power turned off here, we're just gonna cover this whole section here in some plastic and we'll just tape it around here. That way when we're spraying, we make sure we don't get anything on. So it has a sort of shroud or hood that goes over the top of it. And you just kind of want to get it behind there. And then this is going to come underneath it. And this is probably the most important part, where you want this to come back up behind it. Because as we spray all this water up in here, we don't want it to hit the wall. We want it to all go down into this. While I've got this whole thing apart, I'm going to go ahead and clean the coils anyway. It's kind of a pain to take it all apart. So, you know, you can get this pretty much anywhere. This is from HVAC guys, but we bought it off of Amazon from other people before. You can do this to both the inside unit and the outside unit. We're not going to do outside unit today, but like I said, what this is going to do is it's going to hit these coils and it's going to foam up, and you want to basically cover the entire coil and then give it 10 or 15 minutes and it's going to sort of expand and release all of the gunk that's on your coils so that you can spray it off easily and it'll go out the drain. So yeah, we'll just do this real quick. The nice thing about how this shroud also comes down is that it should help protect the back wall as we're kind of spraying into this. We'll set a timer for 15 minutes. And we're gonna go use the spray nozzle that they supplied to clean off the pieces we took out of this. So this is I think the other most important part of this whole kit is that being able to sort of spray in an enclosed space with enough pressure and at a very concentrated small area is important to getting the gunk off of those coils. And so this just connects to a garden hose, and then it's got a few different tips. This one is just kind of like a light fan. And then they have another one, which we'll show you in a minute, that's actually super useful and made specifically for working with mini splits. Now, like I said, it connects straight to a garden hose, but the nice thing is it does come with a bunch of other adapters if you want to connect it to your kitchen sink or your bathroom sink. And that way you can do it inside without needing to actually run. I just happen to have a pump house right here. So we'll spray the filters from the inside out because they always catch the dust on the outside. So we'll just go ahead and clean this. Try to get if there's any dirt on it, we'll go ahead and try to spray it off. The other fitting that is super useful is it has this little wand, right? And the thing with mini splits is that the most important fins are actually up at the top. And so to be able to clean that, it's hard to do that. So this actually it's a 90 degree, it's long and it's a 90 degree, so you can get way back up over the top and it sprays straight down. So we're gonna start at the top, clean the top, and then we'll switch back to the other nozzle to spray down the stuff on the front. Oh. So now we get to the part, hey, yum yum. Yum yum. Now this is where the shroud really starts to become useful, right? Because we're gonna be spraying a bunch of water in here. Now most of it is gonna go out the condensation drain line, but also because we're spraying the top of this is going to help protect this wall from anything hitting it. So, like I said, we'll start at the top. just want to take it slow, and you can visually see if there's still stuff on the coils. Like, you can just keep that water there a little bit longer to make sure it gets it pushed through and down into the tray to come out. Can you do me a favor? Can you go outside and make sure that all of this gunk is draining through the condensation tube and coming out outside?
Yep.
I did the coils not that long ago. They weren't that bad, but what I haven't cleaned in like a couple of years is the blower wheel in this whole cavity, and it is caked in stuff. It's super gross. So this is where this shroud is really going to come in handy. And you can already see there's stuff that's coming down into the bucket. It's not making a mess. So fingers crossed we don't make a mess. No, we didn't. Okay, this is weird because we need to turn the unit back on and let the blower wheel run so it slings off any additional water or gunk that might be on it. And that's one reason that this and this are so big, is I can just sort of sit here and it won't spray water all over the room. But in order to control it with the remote, this cable has to be plugged in so that you can send the RIR signal to this. So I'm gonna have to hold this. Can you go flip the breaker on and then get the mini split remote and we'll turn it back on? Okay.
Just turn it on.
So put it on fan high. So we ran the fan for a second, but it kind of flung off whatever is left on that blower wheel to the back shroud that's up back behind here. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray it one more time and then we'll let the blower wheel dry off. Clean. So we're going to undo the shroud, take it and its gross bucket of water outside, and then we'll put everything back on.
Some of you might be asking, what is the Homestead Bundle?
That's a great question. The Homestead Bundle is a collection of ebooks, guides, and courses, 79 of them, over $4,800 worth of stuff for only $50. It's not just a collection of resources, though. It's a gateway to a life of freedom and self-reliance designed to empower beginner homesteaders on their journey towards having life on their own terms, whether that's growing their own food, leaving the 9-to-5 grind, or learning to make meals from scratch rather than relying on store-bought ingredients.
If you've been following our channel for a while, you have a great idea of how these bundles work, so we're going to keep this quick and to the point.
It only lasts until April 9th to 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then you can't buy it anymore.
Nope.
That means after that time, all of these resources that are at a huge discount are going to go back to their original prices. Also, we're including our brand new Goat Barn wiring diagrams. The Goat Barn.
Yeah.
Simpler solar setup than our big one. I think it's really easy to get into and learn how to do. And that's just the beginning. I mean, there's so many resources in here. And it's one of the reasons we love doing this, is that we get to partner with all these other amazing creators who all like really know their own individual things. That all gets put into a bundle at a huge discount. And then you get to take that and download it and use it later whenever you're ready. I remember it's over $4,800 worth of educational materials for only $50. And it's focused on helping you live your life on your own terms, whether that's growing your own food, leaving the 9-to-5 grind, learning to make meals from scratch, or gaining the skills to build your homestead exactly the way that you want. Just go to tinyshinyhome.com/bundle to get access today. earth already. That's so gross. Just look at the gunk. That's just a little bit of it. It's so nasty. All right, power's back off, obviously, because we've got some stuff here that's exposed. Did you turn the power off?
Yeah, I was making sure.
You're just double checking. So this is just gonna go back on. Shouldn't be too hard, but you want to make sure any wires that need to come through here don't get stuck behind it. Remember, you got tabs here, and then you got tabs on the back that's gonna snap into. Then we have our hidden screw. So when you put these back on, there's always one of the little rods that has like a hexagon shape. So we'll put that on first and bend it so it goes into the circle, and then just make sure this middle lever is snapped back on. So usually there's a place for the temperature sensor to come out and not get squished. And then same thing with this. You want that to come right through there, and then we can plug it back in. Clean your filters often, guys. Like once a week, just in case. They're easy to take out, only takes a few minutes. Totally save you a lot of trouble later. Trust me. So the last thing we want to do is just go ahead and run this thing full blast cold for, I don't know, 30 minutes, an hour. You want to try to get it to condensate, run some more water through the fins. And also that spray blaster stuff has kind of a weird smell, so you want that to kind of dissipate. So we'll just turn it on cool. We'll turn it way down, set the fan to auto. Hey, look, we didn't make a mess on the wall.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah. We'll be back in 3 to 6 months to do it again if it needs it. Last step, we gotta clean the shroud out. Super gross. You wanna spray it all the way down, and then you wanna make sure you let it air out and dry out completely before you fold it up and store it again, because otherwise, what happens?
It gets gross.
Moldy.
Yeah.
The molds are no good. Yeah, so we're gonna spray this down. I need 2 hands to really be able to spray it all out, and then we'll put it on. All right, that's it. We're all put up. We're drying everything out. That means we can get back to work on the house. Like I said, this was not sponsored by this HVAC guy's mini split cleaning kit, but listen, if you live off-grid or you just want to learn to be more self-sufficient, this is totally something you can do at your place and save a ton of money. Otherwise, you're going to pay an HVAC company to come out and do this work for you on a pretty regular basis. I'll throw a link in the description of this video if you want to go check out this kit. It's not too difficult. As long as you have the right tools, you can totally do it yourself.
Hey, thanks for making our air conditioners not disgusting.
You're welcome. It actually wasn't too bad.
I was so concerned that you were going to damage all the walls and spray water everywhere, but you didn't.
No, the HVAC guys thing actually worked pretty good.
Yeah.
We saved a ton of money. We didn't have to go try to find somebody to come out and clean it in the middle of nowhere. And this means we can do it on our own schedule whenever we need to, which, by the way, I have created a maintenance calendar.
Thank you.
We're going to check the filters every week, and we're going to check the coils every, 3 months because we get so much dirt coming through here.
And maybe a deep clean every 6 months.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, guys, you know what that means? We are self-sufficient on one more thing.
Yep. Speaking of self-sufficient, we're building our house.
Yes.
If you didn't know, it's the hyperadobe roundhouse, and you should watch us stuff dirt in bags. It's great.
It's great. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.